Hi everybody, I'm Steve Santagati and I'm doing a review today on these two APPLETREE downwind mid-length. This one's considered a mid-length prone, and this is the downwind, traditional downwind shape, which you can see very similar across most brands that are doing this now. I will explain to you why I chose APPLETREE in just a moment, but let's start with my prone board and what it will and will not do. Let's start with the cons. The whole marketing thing about it paddling faster, that is not really true. Let me explain. It doesn't paddle any faster when you're on the flat water or trying to get into the wave necessarily, but when you do get that initial push, you are going to see a significant amount of glide and push into the wave. This thing accelerates much faster than a traditional prone foil board. The other thing you're going to notice is that even though it's a longer board, this is 5'1" by 18 inches wide by 43 liters, you're going to see that the tracks begin 15 inches from the back of the board. Now what does that mean? That means your balance point is going to be a lot different than a normal prone board. That means that a 5'1" board with the tracks 7.5, 8 inches further into the board than a normal prone board. That means when you get up on this and you're riding it, and this is a fact, I know this because I've had this for months now, it pumps and rides like a significantly smaller board. So this 5'1" really to me rides like a 4-foot board, a 4'4", 5" board, something to that effect. So the only con with this thing is you're going to have to two things. One is because it's only 18 inches wide and it's narrow, you're gonna have to be patient and have a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to hopping up, getting your feet in the right place. The other thing is it doesn't paddle necessarily faster than a normal prone board. So those are the only two con things. But there are so many pluses. Number one, because of the shape. And by the way, so let me just note this: I have zip tape to protect the nose. I have wax to help my hands not slip on the rails. I have that on the tail as well, zip tape on the tail, because those are the areas that are most likely to get dinged up when you're moving it in and out of your car. Okay, having said that, super light, pumps incredible, rides incredible. APPLETREE picked a really comfortable deck that doesn't dig up your knees for the few amount of days that I'm actually not wearing a wetsuit here in Maine. The other thing is, it's because it's only 18 inches wide, you're going to be able to cut turns a lot harder, which is both good and bad. Because it's good because it's really fun, but you also will breach wingtips occasionally. All right, so in terms of mass placement, that's going to be a feel, whether you want more board in front of your feet or less board. I happen to like a little bit more board, so it gives me some variable where if I have to move my feet on a bad pop-up or on a different type of wave or situation. But as you can see, my mass is set all the way back, where on my last prone board, it was set up all the way to the front. And by the way, my last one was a Fusion 5-foot board. This is only a 5'1". You can see the difference, okay? And this pumps better and rides better than my old Fusion, okay? So that's that. Now I got this board. This is 6'7" 92 liters by 19 inches wide. And I got this for light wind winging, which is what a lot of people did when they first started getting into this shape. I didn't want anything too big. 6'7" was as large as I wanted to go, but you don't want anything too small because then it's going to make it almost impossible and difficult. And all these guys that are into these sinking boards, it's just too much effort. Foiling is hard enough. Let's keep it fun. I got this size because it was perfect for my weight, which is about 175, depending on what I've been eating. And I've been foiling for 4 years. I do prone, I do dock, I do dock starting, I do wing foiling, and of course I ride behind the boat on occasion or jet ski. The pros: both of these boards do skip off the surface when they hit, which is fantastic. Both of these boards leave the surface much quicker and pick up speed once you get that initial push. That's all true. The other thing that's incredible about this thing is it turns really sharp, which makes winging a blast. Con: you are going to have to get used to the balance point. It's going to be very different because it's only 19 inches wide. You're going to have a little bit of a learning curve, just like my prone board, and you're going to have to be patient with yourself. Get out there on smaller, lighter wind days. That will really help how you place your feet. Will really, that'll come natural to you once you're out there on this thing for a couple of days. Where you place your mast is going to be up to you. This board, again, similar to my prone board, pumps like a much smaller board. I was leaving a 5'3" Freedom wing nut, and it was significantly heavier than this. I loved that board. I rode waves on it. I did everything on it. But once I got on this, and once I got used to being able to balance in extremely choppy conditions, I sold my wing nut, and now I'm just using this. Okay, so again, the pros: leaves the water quickly, great for light wind, great for riding waves because it turns really sharply, great for pumping. I can ride this like on hand paddle into small wave days, like a longboard type of day. And the best thing about these two, and the reason I chose APPLETREE out of all the other brands, was because of the closed cell and the construction quality. These are made in Portugal, not China. Okay? So I hope that helps. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments. I'm not making any money off this or anything, and I'm not starting a channel, so you don't have to subscribe. Just let me know if you need anything, and I'll explain anything I can to you. Thanks a lot.